What's going on, everybody? Eric Barassa here, and today I want to talk all about natural harmonics. So this is a physics thing. I don't know how it works. It has to do with nodes and vibrations and sine waves. All I know is that it sounds cool, and we are going to learn where they are on the fretboard, the most common places to play harmonics, the technique of doing harmonics, and then some bonus harmonics that are used less frequently but can still be used to your advantage, and then a couple of examples of harmonics being used in songs. We are also going to dispel the mystery of exactly what the notes are called. All right, so I just played the first, second, and third harmonics on the guitar, which are located at the 12th, the 7th, and the 5th frets. These are the most common places where you are going to find harmonics played. So let's start with the 12th fret. And what you're going to do is you're not going to apply any pressure with the fingertip. You do not want to push down onto the fret like you normally would. You actually want to put your finger right over the fret wire, which is the metal bar on the high side of the fret. So to play a harmonic at the 12th fret, you want to rest your finger not on the lower side of the 12th, but on the higher side of the 12th. And a lot of times I'm going to use my pad, the pad on my finger, rather than the tip, just to ensure that I don't apply any pressure, like literally zero pressure at all. And you'll know you did it correctly if you're able to remove your fretting finger and the note continues to ring. Okay, so again, step one, lightly rest your fingertip on the fret wire above the chosen fret. Step two, do not apply any pressure. Step three, pluck the string. And step four, remove the left-hand fingertip if you're playing right-handed, your fretting hand fingertip, and the note should continue to ring. And that's it. That's the technique of how to play a harmonic. A couple of common mistakes I see with students is that they will pluck very softly with their plucking hand because they're trying not to apply any pressure with their fretting hand, and they don't yet have that independence developed in their hands to do it. So if you find that by plucking harder, you're applying pressure, then we need to work on the independence in the hands. Really focus on not having pressure in your fretting hand, but plucking hard in the picking hand. And a quick bonus tip, if you pluck closer to the bridge, you will get a little bit more clear of a sound. I'm using kind of a different part of my finger, right? Sometimes I'm like here, sometimes I'm here, sometimes here, but I'm pretty much never on the tip. So you can almost do like a sliding bar with it. You'll need to spend some time with it and experiment. The first harmonic at the 12th fret, this is dividing the fretboard in half. So here are your nodes, okay? So the string is vibrating between this node at the nut and this node at the bridge. We are going to divide this equally in half, which lands us at the 12th fret, and that's our first harmonic. The name of the note is going to be the same as whatever the 12th fret is called. So we know that our open strings are E, A, D, G, B, E. Eric ate dynamite, goodbye, Eric. At the 12th fret, we're one octave higher, so if we play those frets regularly, we get E, A, D, G, B, E. Same exact notes, one octave higher. So now, if I play the harmonic, notice it's the exact same pitch as if I just fret the 12th fret regularly. The difference is just in the timbre or the tonal color of what's happening. Why is it different? I don't actually know. It just is. So you'll have to ask a physics professor or something about that, or maybe spend 5 minutes on Google, like I refused to do. Okay, so the second harmonic is found at the 7th fret, and this comes from dividing the string into thirds. So if we cut the string into thirds, The first third point happens at the 7th fret. Okay, now what's cool here is this is going to be, the pitch is going to be a fifth above the open string plus an octave. Okay, so it's basically whatever the 7th fret is called. So we have B, E, A, D, F sharp, and B. Okay, so when we play those harmonics, you can hear it's the same thing. It's just an octave higher above what that is. Okay, so far, the 12th fret is just the same as whatever the 12th fret is called, and the 7th fret is the same as whatever the 7th fret is called. Okay, so they're just in different octaves. So now at the 5th fret, this is where we divide the fretboard into fourths. Okay, so here's a fourth, bam, bada bam, bada bam. You go to that first fourth, which ends up being at the 5th fret. You just keep dividing up those fractions, right? Okay, so now here's where it's a little bit different. The 5th fret is not going to be the same as what the 5th fret is called, right? The 5th fret would normally be A, D, G, C, E, A. And by the way, if you don't know that, those are the names of those frets, I highly encourage you to spend some time memorizing the notes of your fretboard. It will make life so much easier. Now, this is, let's see, when you play a harmonic at the 5th fret, it's actually 2 octaves above the open string. So check this out. Same as open. So you have your open strings, an octave above that at the 12th fret, and then another octave above that at the 5th fret. So here's E in 3 different octaves. Cool. So those are the main places to play natural harmonics on the guitar. And let me give you a couple of like kind of real world examples of how you can use these. So let's look at example 1. You might use this as like a texture, a background texture played over something else. Now let's slow it down. Notice I lift my fingertip off after every single note I play. You really want to get into that habit. We could put like a bass note underneath that. Right? So you can see how just using harmonics can help to color whatever you're doing in a song. If you're writing a song that's just got some chord strumming happening and you wanted to add some harmonics in the background, it's kind of a nice texture that you can add. So in example 2, we've got a little melody. This is a cool thing. Sometimes you might want to play a melody as harmonics just to get a different sound. Check this out. A very classically inspired thing, kind of like Yngwie Malmsteen did in Black Star. Quick tip, use the bridge pickup of it when you're playing on electric guitar, okay? You want a brighter tone. The darker your tone is, the harder it is to get a clear sound out of a harmonic. So here I am on my neck pickup. Sounds okay, but now I go to my bridge. Definitely easier to get that sound there. Let's go to my position 2. That's got a pretty nice sound to it as well. Nice chimey Strat-like sound. But let's go to example 3. This, I believe, where did I find this? My bachelor's degree is in classical guitar performance. My second year, I was assigned to learn Prelude 1 by Villalobos, and he used harmonics a lot. So if you want to hear some really great examples of harmonics used with classical guitar, Villalobos, his preludes and etudes. This, I believe, comes from one of his preludes. How cool is that? So now let's talk about some weirder harmonics that are a little less common that you can get into. Here is one at the 4th fret. It's hard to get that clean without distortion. So if you're playing acoustic or on clean electric guitar, you're probably not going to use these very often. But what's happening is you're getting a major third plus an octave above the open string, which really is just a fancy way of saying it's the same as this fret. So the 4th fret, it's just like 16 octaves higher than what it would normally be. Let's add some distortion and see if that makes it easier. Okay, and you can hear that playing it on the higher strings, higher being the thinner strings, it's a little harder to get those harmonics. They're a little bit easier to execute on the thicker, lower strings. And the distortion really helps. Make sure you're on your bridge pickup again and that you've got a brighter sound. Not like razor sharp bright, but just make sure you're not on the darker side of tone. You want to be on the brighter side of tone to let those harmonics ring out. Also notice I'm using a whammy bar to really kind of bring those to life. You know, it's one thing to let it just ring. Okay, that's fine. But add this. Gives you a little vibrato to it. So I know some people that hate using whammy bars. I don't get it. I can't personally relate because I think this is a great example. When you're playing harmonics, it really brings them to life. The 4th fret there, that's the same as the 9th fret. So any harmonics you do at the 4th fret, you can do at the 9th fret, and it's the exact same. So then another one we can do is right above the beginning of the 4th fret. So if you go to the lower part of the 4th fret on that fret wire, but you don't actually play on the fret wire, you come up. So you might see this notated as like 4.2. You're going to get about 53 octaves above whatever your 7th fret is. And you can see I'm really struggling to get those on the thinnest strings once again. Wow, some pro you are, Eric. This is the same as doing the 7th fret, but again, like I said, it's about 53 octaves higher than that. So listen to the similarity. Okay, cool. So 2 different versions of going a 5th above the open string. So now we come to about 3.2, okay? This is where we get like 65 octaves above the open string. So you can hear that it's the same as open, just 65 octaves or so higher. Okay, and then here's the one really weird one. At like the higher part of the 3rd fret, but again, not on the fret wire. This would be like 3.7, 3.8, right about yay. This is a minor 7th above the open string, but 1,542 octaves higher. Okay. So those are like your bonus harmonics at the 4th fret, right on the fret wire. at about 4.2, just above the lower end of the 4th fret. And then at about 3.2, just above the lower part of the 3rd fret. And then at the 7th, at about 3.7, you get that guy there. So here's the question: how would you use those in real life? Well, in real life, for me, that would be like a very Joe Satriani thing to do, right? You would hit one of those harmonics and do a dive bomb. Okay, last thing, here's a couple of real-world examples. I already mentioned earlier, Villalobos, classical guitar, Brazilian classical guitar composer who wrote his 5 preludes and his, 12 etudes, and some other pieces, but he's most famous for those ones. Check out the 5 preludes, especially from Villalobos. Lots of harmonics being used there. And then also Dazed and Confused by Led Zeppelin. You hear the bass doing that, and then you hear those harmonics. Okay? And then, like in Sweet Home Bama Bama, you'll hear those harmonics there. And then the last one, this is my favorite example of harmonics. It's a song that is maybe not as remembered now, but it's called Blurry by Puddle of Mud. And check this out. It is by far the hardest harmonics thing I've ever tried to play in my life. And it's just like a pop song from Puddle of Mud from like the late 90s, early 2000s. I don't remember. Anyway, guys, that's my lesson on natural harmonics. Let me know what you think. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Let me know what you think of this video in the comments below. And I will see you next time.